Hi, this is Audrey Hepburn, and I'm here today to communicate to you about how dimensional support and your individual support in your process becoming one. So, let me rephrase that in a more explainable terms. What is happening and what has happened is the following. All dimensional beings have now been placed, integrated into and as human beings. In other words, there is no more the experience where when you die you cross over to an external dimensional existence. The dimensions are now here inside human beings, as human beings. Why? What have we realized is the following. That experiencing yourself when you die crossing over to an external dimensional existence, or what is the other word that is also so beautifully placed, is crossing over the great divide. Interesting. That would be referred to as the divide, which is separation. And that crossing over to an external dimensional existence would mean that I'm crossing over to a separate existence when, in truth, what is the word that has always been spoken? The kingdom of God is within you, as you. And it is here, literally, not figuratively speaking anymore, figuratively speaking, excuse me. And so I'm explaining what exactly it is that we are doing within and as the stand of human beings. Right. So what is the most, let's say, common experience inside human beings? Of course it is your thoughts, yes, and the emotional and feeling experiences. But wait, there's been some questions about thoughts, emotions and feelings, and we've communicated about these thoughts, emotions and feelings that are generated by systems that are placed inside human beings. But then you ask, but don't dimensional beings also become emotional or experience emotions and feelings? You know what? There is a difference. You have expression as self, and then you have emotional and feeling charged energy generators that are generated by thoughts. And there is a difference. When, for instance, you've seen, I suppose that you've seen beings when they communicate to you through the interdimensional portal, and they express themselves as they communicate. Interesting, because that is not becoming emotional because of thoughts that generate energy in becoming emotional. That is pure expression coming forth as self. So there is a difference between expression and then emotional and feeling experiences that are generated by thought. Just to explain the two differences. So, emotional and feeling experiences that are generated by thoughts is what we as the dimensions are currently directing inside human beings in various different ways. Sometimes, when we see it necessary, we'll actually compound the emotions and feelings inside human beings and the thoughts. Why? Because there requires an emotional feeling breakdown. Why is that? Because what actually break down is systems inside human beings, not you. Who you are is not able to break down, only express, which is different, much different. So we look at the situation in a being's life. If their world if their world, let's say, I'm certain there are many human beings who have experienced this, it feels like your whole world is just starting to crumble down, nothing wants to work, everything seems to go wrong, no matter where you turn, you become more and more frustrated, you become more and more angry, fed up, like you've had enough, and it feels like you just want to break out. And that's scenarios such as that is what we tend to compound inside human beings. We compound that frustration, that anger, that hopelessness, that I've had enough. Why? Because that's not who you are. So the more we compound it and bring you to that breakdown experience, what breaks down is those systems inside you that have been charging that continuously. And the moment that breaks down completely, those systems break down, what is left but you? And then you start looking at your world in a different perspective. Because then you realize that it's got nothing to do with your world, it's got all to do with yourself. Who are you in your world, as your world? That makes the difference. That's where the realizations start coming through. That's where you start going. That's where that aha moments come. That's where those, oh my God, why didn't I see this before, come through. And those realizations is where we are, where we stand. That's where we're with you as you. And we stand up in those realizations. And you know what? I've actually experienced this in a human being, and it was magnificent. That's where I've gotten this example from. Because this woman, she was in her world, and nothing wanted to work. Her relationship didn't want to work. Every moment she was going to her office, she just couldn't bear it anymore. Things with the children, her relationship with her children was irritating her more and more and more. And she couldn't find that silence and that peace within herself in her whole world. So I'll continue in my next interview where I'll explain about this woman and where I've gotten my example from. Thank you. This is Audrey Hepburn.